Thanks to Wizards of the Coast for sponsoring this video. Hey guys, Kenji here with another video, this time detailing the player drafting mode on Arena that was recently added. It's been around for about a month now, and it's a great new way to play draft on MTG Arena. Previous to this player draft update, you could only draft versus bots, which didn't really make it as authentic as, real player drafting, which you're supposed to do in Magic. So now you can choose between the modes of bots and human draft, which makes it that much better. All the core tenets are still the same. It's an 8-person draft, whereas, previously it would be an 8-person draft with bots. So you're going to be drafting against 7 other players in this pod. There's still best of 1 options and best of 3 options. The best of 1 is the ranked format, where you play until you get 7 wins or 3 losses. And then the best of 3 format is 3 matches, best of 3. Now, as we can see here, there are going to be best of 1 options and best of 3 options, just like previously. So traditional draft is going to be your best of 3 options, where you play 3 matches regardless of the record, and this will be versus 7 other players as well. And then you always have the option to do best of 1, and that is the premier draft. And this will be the ranked version. As you can see here, this will accumulate points to your ranking, whatever that might be. So yeah, both of these options are going to be draft options with players, which again makes it that much more authentic, that much better. If you do want to play versus bots still, the quick draft format is still available to you. Currently that is War of the Spark at the time of this recording, and as you can see, it tells you bot draft, draft against AI with no waiting and no pick timers. And that's a good point. So when you draft versus bots, if you haven't drafted versus humans before, when you draft versus bots, it is instantaneous. You make your pick, you get your next pack, because there's no waiting for other people. But when you draft with humans, just like a real paper Magic event, there is a time allotment for every pick. And so you need to make sure that when you do one of these player drafts, if you're doing one for the first time, or for the very first couple of times even, you need to set some time aside, because unlike in bot drafting, if you start this draft, you can't just set it down and come back to it later. No, you have to draft the whole draft. You have to draft every single card, all 3 packs, with everybody else, and there is a timer that counts down for you. To give you folks an example of what this looks like, I'll go ahead and join this premier draft, which is the best of 1 ranked. And as soon as you join it, you're going to see this option here. Well, not option rather, but this seating here. And that's waiting for 8 people total to join the event. So you'll see your name at the top there, and then it waits for all of the seats to be filled with 7 other human participants. Now remember, unlike bot drafting, you have to wait for every person to make their pick, and then you'll get their next pack or whatever. But each of the packs is timed. And so as you can see here, this is waiting for the draft to fire. As soon as everybody's ready, they will click ready, and then we'll move on to the actual drafting portion, and I'll show you what you guys see there. So here we are with the premier draft, and this is with drafting with 7 other people. As you can see, this is the screen that happens when you do go to the draft initially. And as you can see, you can click on here, and this is all of the other people that I'm drafting against. So these are actual people, and you can see yours, middle, center, bottom, and it can show you how many packs you have lined up for you. So you can always swap your view over here with change deck layout, and as you'll notice at the bottom here, there is a time limit. So you actually have to make a pick in the allotted time, otherwise it's going to automatically choose a pick for you. And so I just imagine myself drafting at a table with 7 other people, because this is the real drafting experience here. Now I'm not going to go through my picks or whatever, but I just want to show you guys what it's like to draft on Arena with players now. So there are a lot of packs now lined up behind me, and I'm just going to make some random picks here just because I want to show you guys what it's like. I'm going to make some quick picks to give an example of what it's like to when you're waiting on packs. So now, as you can see, somebody else, I've just passed multiple packs, somebody else is getting all the packs. So I have to wait until the packs go around, until the person before me gets a pack before I see a new one. So unlike bot drafting, like I mentioned before, which is instantaneous because the bots have no rhyme or reason, they just take a card, right? And you draft along with them. With players, you have to wait until the person before you passes you a new pack. And so again, you do have to set aside an amount of time to make sure you can reasonably draft. And drafts you can take anywhere from, you know, 10 to 20 minutes, I'd say on average. Sometimes faster. But this is a good example of what it's like. And this is still seamless. Unlike with bots, where maybe it's a little bit unpredictable, I think it's actually more unpredictable with human drafting because people will often just take the cards that they like. You know, there's no rhyme or reason. If somebody opens a bomb rare, say somebody opens let's say, for example, a Luca, right? The Luca the Planeswalker in pack 2, and they're not playing any red, well, they might just take that card, and all of a sudden, if you've been taking red cards, you might not see any more red cards. And so it's really interesting to draft with actual other humans. And even though you cannot communicate with those people during the draft, you have to be aware of the signals during the draft. When I say signals, I mean is if you see like a really good card go super late, well, maybe it's a good sign that you should move into that color, or that color is open. That means nobody is really taking that color and you should move into it. So if I saw like a pacifism, 8th pick or something, well, then I could deduce, well, hey, pacifism's a really good white card. You know, if I'm getting it so late, maybe nobody is taking white. Now that scenario didn't happen here, for example, but that's just something to note. And we'll just take some random last few picks here. But as you can see, you know, as the drafting goes, you'll make your picks, and if you've done nothing but bot drafting up to this point, it's going to take a little bit longer, yes, but there is more, there's more of a strategic element to it for sure. So, again, my tip would be for drafting with players, you know, try to read the signals of the draft, draft what is open, and go from there. And if you want to watch some more player drafting in action, don't forget to check out my stream at twitch.tv/NumotTheNummy. Thanks again to Wizards of the Coast for sponsoring this video.